Please go upstairs. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello.
I am so glad to be here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell everybody, go ahead, nod your sisters, your friends, your girlfriends, tell them, hey, Janet is on. She's back. She's back with a bag. Welcome and good evening, everyone. Happy Friday to you. My name is Janet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. My name is Janet Ezwacha. If you're just joining me for the first time, I am founder of Janet's Pick, and this is an interview series that I call Janet's Wins. Okay, I hope we're all winning. I hope you find yourself winning this year so far. Look, if you are alive right now, listening to me breathing, you're winning. You're winning. I guarantee you, you are winning. And I just thank God for your life and thank you for joining me today. I created these series of interviews to give myself an opportunity to introduce to the world some amazing women doing amazing things, as I love to say. And today I have one of those amazing women with me. Her name is Dr.Mavis Mb. Mavis, say hello to my
audience. Hello, everyone. What an honor, what a privilege to be here. I feel so honored that you invited me to come on Janet's Win.
The honor is all mine. Believe me, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, Mavis. I have a little idea of how busy you are, and I've heard so much about the success you've had so far on your business. So I am just so excited that you could make it in today to speak with me. Thank you so much. Again, if you're just joining me, please go ahead and tell your friends that I'm on. It's been a minute. So glad that you're here today. I want to get started. We don't have that much time to have all these questions. So Mavis, Dr. Mavis, actually is the founder and CEO of Baby Convenience LLC. I want to tell you, she's also a wife and mother of 3 beautiful children. She is a full-time pharmacist as well. So Mavis is doing a few things that we probably, we want to know, look, how are you doing it? And looking so fabulous in the process, if I might say. You look fabulous. You look fabulous today.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just going to read a little bit, a part of your bio, and then just ask you to go in a little deeper. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. So Dr. Mavis established Baby Convenience after inventing the first Change Pal case, and you'll get to know more about what that is. As a busy working professional mom, she found herself struggling with finding her baby's changing items and needing the ultimate organizer. And that's what Change Pal is, the ultimate organizer. All of her baby's essentials packed and ready to go in an easy fashion. All right, and you have a patent and all that. We'll get to know more about that, but tell us a little bit about yourself, Mavis.
Jane, thank you for having me again. I am honored and privileged to have this talk with you this evening. Like you said, my name is Mavis Mb. I am a pharmacist by profession and invented a product that actually pushed me to open a business. I invented this product when my first child was born. I found myself as a busy pharmacist, needing to have things packed and ready to go. And at the time, I couldn't find something that I needed that was readily like what I was looking for. And so I went ahead and I invented Change Pal. And it's been a long journey. However, we are still here and we're still inventing and growing. And I'm just very honored that through this process, I am able to not only run a business, but impact lives. I'm able to meet mothers, I'm able to meet other entrepreneurs, make lifelong friends through this journey. And so, like you said, I'm a mom of 3, wife to my wonderful husband, Emmanuel Mb, and life is a journey and it's a learning experience. And every day we learn more and we gain more. And I love what you said at the beginning of this. You said that so long as you're living and breathing, you're already winning. So everything else is a plus. So that's just a little bit about me and how my business was created. And I'm happy that you have me on to be able to share real life practical lessons on what it's like to run a business as a professional, as a mom, as a busy wife, and how it works.
Yes, I tell you, that's what we are all hoping to hear from you. A lot of my listeners want to hear real life and practical lessons.
Right.
Yes, to inspire them as well in their own journey. Mavis, look, not every new mom, I've been a new mom, we have all kinds of challenges that we face as a new mom. And I remember the challenge of, hey, okay, it's time to go out. All right, what do I
Yeah.
need? Or you're
Yeah.
out already. And it's like, where did I put that? Where did I put the Vaseline? I mean, I can't
Yep.
find, well, wait, where's the diaper? Where's the bottle?
Right.
That whole heap of fantastic things that we new moms put in our diaper bags. So I so much appreciate the value that you're adding to the lives of new moms, to the solution that you're bringing to an everyday, and I say everyday problem for moms out there with little ones. But I wanted to say that, look, I find it amazing that in that moment, in quote, you had the mind to think about a solution to that issue that you are facing daily. And a lot of people cannot, don't have that same experience. We just deal with, we live with the problem, right? But you
Right.
have the mind to create a solution, which I think is amazing. And that's the mind of a lot of entrepreneurs. Is there anything in your background growing up that you can point to that you feel may have impacted your ability to move in that direction instead of just accepting the issue, the problem as is, trying to find a solution, actually inventing, creating something?
Right. I smiled in my head when you said you came up with a solution in that moment, because really we are always growing to be what we're going to do. We're growing to become who we are. And so when I look back, the reason why I would even think to even try something like this is because I had seen it done. I had seen it modeled for me. Even though I was raised in Columbia, Maryland, I was born in Ghana. And I saw my professional mother, who was a teacher, run a business with my aunt and my grandmother. And, you have to be very innovative as a businesswoman who is also a professional. So when you have an example modeled for you for so long, when it comes to your turn and you're like, okay, you know what, I think I can actually create something to solve this problem, it's not totally new. You have to have been inspired. That's why exposure for kids is so essential. Just having them see that it's possible, that it can be done without even knowing the journey that's ahead of them, it's one step of the battle. And so even though, my mother and her sisters and my grandmother ran a different type of business, I knew that as a professional, if I needed to go into entrepreneurship, I could learn my way through it. I could figure out what is required. I knew it was probably not going to be easy because we're in a totally different country, totally different entrepreneur system. But I had the naive confidence that I could try and see how it would go. So yes, in the moment the idea came, I feel like it was inspired by God, but the confidence to be able to do it or to try it had been instilled in me without me even really knowing it. And when I look back, it's because I had seen it done by women who had kids who were probably busier than I am.
I think I'm listening to you, and it reminds me of how critical it is for us to allow our kids witness, observe our journey. The impact that does to them, no matter how young. How young were you when your mom started her business? Do you remember?
For as long as I can remember, they had that business. they had that business. And, because of that, it allowed us to have a really good education in the Ghana system, be able to do extracurricular activities, right? Just, I saw how, because of that entrepreneurial pathway, they were blessed to, do things that otherwise would have been harder for them to have been able to afford on their regular salaries as a mom in Ghana.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So tell us in your own words, as the creator, the inventor of the change file, can you tell us a little bit about your product or
Oh,
product?
yes, absolutely. So we were on our way to the Niagara Falls. My first baby at the time was 1. And we packed everything, that you can think of. You know how new mothers are. You want to make sure that you bring the whole house with you when you're traveling for the first time with your baby. And so I had everything packed, and we had rented this truck, so the truck, usually you don't have, it's not like a van where you have space to put things. So we had to put everything in the back of the truck. And even though I had everything organized, at every stop, we had to get down, go back, open. Meanwhile, the baby's screaming and yelling, And I was just like, wow, I just wish I had something that could be portable enough for me to be able to keep inside the car, because the diaper bag was huge and it would take up space. And it was the whole family going, my mom, I had some of my cousins with me, my brother. And, I was like, I just wish I had something that was portable for me to just be able to pull out my essentials in the moment when I need it, and have it locked in different places so that nothing can escape. Because you have the diapers in one place, but when you go to get it, somebody has moved it, or you've left the wipes upstairs, or the ointment you utilize is no longer there. And so it was a grueling first travel with the baby. And on our way back from the journey, God inspired the design, in my head. And initially I was just like, like I don't want to see it, because I that one person that if an idea sticks in my head, then now I have to follow up with it. And I have no business background. Like I said, I'm a pharmacist by trade. So I was just like, this idea is so good. Thank you, God, for this idea. But what am I going to do with it? It seemed daunting. It seemed like it couldn't be done. So we came home and I told my husband about this idea I had, where you can have one portable organizer, but with different compartments for your products. And so I have some of the older designs with me. This is my baby. This is the first change file design. So you can see it was a plastic case. This first compartment is where you would keep your wipes to keep it moist and everything. And then you would keep your diapers in this compartment. And then this compartment, you would keep, maybe like a diaper ointment or a changing pad and everything. And so this is where it all started.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where it all started. You can tell from the cover when we started, that's my first baby. That's Joel.
Really?
And yes. So this is where we started with Change File.
Wow.
So it was a long process, nevertheless, to get here, getting the patent for the design, finding a factory to make it for me, and everything, going to trade shows. And so from just me using it, other moms using it, a plastic case that could lock everything up, you could just grab and go. I got so much feedback. And then from there, moms were like, I wish I could press it. And I was like, oh man. So now we have to make a second generation change file, and so then we went to this design, where it's the same design, but now compressible. And you could still keep your wipes, your diapers. And I added a changing pad so that you could always have a line changing pad with you. So then we went to this generation change file 2.0. And then moms are like, we love it, but we just want more colors. And I'm just like, that's okay. That's all right. We're going to have more colors. So then we came up with this third generation change pal, which came in so many different colors. There were like 10 colors of this, pink, blue, all kinds of fun colors. We added gold hardware and everything. And this is generation 3.0. And then as time goes on, just getting feedback. And you mentioned this during the pandemic. I was home, my kids had nothing to do, and I'm a busy mom, soccer mom. And all of a sudden we all found ourselves at home, looking at the walls and spending a lot of time at home. And I was just like, we would be spending hours on the road doing activities. So maybe it's time to see what can help with this pandemic situation that we're in with my product. And so we went to this version of the Change Pal, where you can keep a full pack of wipes, because this is what's out. And I made it such that even mothers or women without children can use it, because now everybody needs wipes. So I didn't just want to keep it in the baby colors for babies. I wanted to make it very versatile so that mothers or women without children can equally use it and have it be relevant. So if you carry this as a bag, it has the same thing, right? But I've just made sure that, style is also incorporated. So you have the vegan leather in different colors, the gold hardware, you can still access your wipes, or you can keep hand sanitizer here for easy grab, so you don't have to go inside your bag and contaminate what's inside your bag before you sanitize your hands. So you can sanitize your hands before you go inside your bag. And then you have this second compartment where if you don't want to keep, diapers like I have here, you can keep your wallet here. And then it still comes with the changing pad that's lined, and you are able to clean it. So this is the changing pad that comes with it. You can keep a bottle as well. But for the pandemic, what I was using it for is that when we went out, I would lay it out for my kids to eat on, because my older one now is 6. So I would get a little concerned about touching everything. So I lay out the changing pad. It's fully lined, right? And it's easy to wipe off. So I would do that. And then, we are out and about. So we've gone through a series of Change Pals to get to where we are. And the latest one that's going to come out very soon is this black leather one. And what I've done is that my mothers and some of the women wanted an extra place to be able to keep a phone, or maybe just like a credit card without going inside the bag. So we've made some additional improvements there. We've added a key holder so that if you have your diapers in, it's easy to get to your keys if you need to. So it's just like, years of invention, to get us here. But I always say that despite all the Change Pals we have, this is my winner. This plastic case is my winner, because this is where it all started from.
Yeah.
This is where it started from to get us to where we are today. So that's a little bit about the Change Pal, what it is. We sell it on our website at mychangepal.com. Also, we have it on buybuy.baby.com and Macy's.com. So you'll find some of our SKUs on Macy's.com and buybuy.baby.com. And some of our newest SKUs are coming very soon this year.
I'm in awe. I am in awe. I'm serious.
I'm in awe of what God can do, because like I told you, when I got the design, I had no idea what to do or where to go. So I certainly don't want to sit here and make it seem easy, or make it seem like I just got up and then you had a prototype and then it's here. It took a lot of encouragement from God and inspiration and strength from God to keep going. So I definitely want to make that clear. You would have to need some kind of power outside of yourself to definitely do this. So I definitely want to make sure that glory goes to God and God alone first, because I am in awe of what God can do when you decide to stick with it and trust him to get you here. So I want to make that very clear.
Yes, I share that faith with you, Mavis, in the power of our Lord Jehovah himself. And just looking at your products, several things. First of all, I sense a lot of people going on mychangepal.com right now to look for your items. I sent people getting on Bye Bye Baby and Macy's.com to search for the Change Pal because I'm thinking here, where were you 10 to 14 years ago when I was raising my own babies?
I know, right?
Big old, not very fabulous or colorful bags back then.
Right,
Not much organization either. And I'm looking at your products and I see portable, compact, cute, bright. I
right.
mean, versatile. Talk about versatile. I mean, you've accommodated,
Versatility.
come on, you've accommodated baby wipes, you've accommodated keys. Look at the
Right,
keys. How often do you wake up in the morning, you're out the door like, where are my keys? Where are my keys?
exactly.
It's amazing. You've solved an issue not just for moms or with little kids. Honestly, I think women, women in general. I think there are many uses of your change file other than just for babies or baby items.
Right.
Honestly,
And
I don't know if you've considered movie shifting in that direction because I'm seeing all kinds of problems that you're solving beyond having little ones that you have to pack for on your way
mhm,
out the door. But another thing, Mavis, that I'm amazed at, and I really thank you for that demonstration that you just provided to us, is that you've highlighted the evolution of your vision,
right,
right? I love
right.
it. You started from that plastic container. Can you just show that to us once again? You know, and then can we see the after? I want to contrast because a lot of people find themselves stuck because sometimes they're seeing the after or they hope for the after and just can't figure out their way to take the first step. And sometimes
Right.
the first step is quite simple. You know, just step one. You've shown us step one, and you've
Yeah.
allowed yourself, your business to evolve, to grow. I love
Right.
to show that. That is so special to me. I talk about practical lessons. I I,
Yep.
I love it. You also seem to have a very creative, prolific focus group of people, of women that are giving you feedback. How important has that been to your business success?
Oh man, it's so encouraging, right? Because you get up and I mean, we get encouragement from men too, right? Don't get me wrong. But when you have female entrepreneurs also doing the same thing alongside you, they get it. They get it, you know? And so you're able to draw strength from one another and keep going because the role of the mother, it's always a little different from fathers, right? We all parent, but at the end of the day, you know, we have those little things that we can't not do in the house. You know, no matter how supportive our husbands are, our kids rely on us for like it's a little different. And so when you commit that you're going to run a business, you want to make sure that it doesn't affect your family in a negative way. And finding that balance is key. And so when you see what other women are doing, how they're able to offer that balance, how they're able to offer you resources and support, it goes a long way. And I've been blessed with meeting wonderful women, you know, entrepreneur women who have really supported me, encouraged me, and I truly appreciate it. And most of them, like you said, are on the line right now supported, and I really appreciate them all being here. Not to speak of my own family members who are constantly supporting and cheering me on. It's all just so encouraging that you would have that support. It goes a long way. You know, you should see my brother sell a change file. By the time you know it, you're buying one. You know, so
I look, if I wasn't here anchoring this interview, I'd be on there ordering one myself. And look, we have a little surprise for our listeners today as an appreciation to all you, my faithful listeners, and those of you that have logged on, particularly to hear from Mavis this evening. We do have a giveaway, okay, that we'll be doing. If you can go on my Instagram profile or Mavis's at ChangePal and mine at Janet's Pick, go on and make sure you follow us and like one of our more recent in the past week postings, and also share a link if you can possibly do so on Facebook as well. Just make sure you tag us. We'll be giving you at least one of Mavis's items out for free. Yay!
Yes, yes. It's such a blessing for us to be able to do this because that's what life is about. Just always blessing people when you have an encounter with them. And so I'm grateful that we are able to do this.
Oh, Mavis, and you look, you're blessing us with being able to share your experience to the world right now. Shout out to your family members and your support system that have helped you to come this far. And all the glory, as you said, be to the Lord. Honestly, we see the works of his hands, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm really glad that you talked about your faith in God through this process. You talked about patents. You have a patent on your product. I think
Yes.
that's also really impressed with that. Can you share with us that process of getting a patent, inventing? What's the first step? So I have this really genius idea of a product. What's the first step? What's the first step that I take?
Right. So I'll tell you this. The first thing you need to do is write or draw it, right? Because that's when we were in the car back from Canada, I drew my idea. And so when we came, I couldn't ignore it anymore. So the minute you have something in writing, that's your first step. You can literally postmark that, and the date on it, you can mail it back to yourself, and the date on it can be officially recognized as you having that idea. Because everybody has ideas, right? But how do you show evidence that you are the first person who had that idea? And so you can make sure that it's in writing. And so you have a record that that idea came from your brain and other people can witness it as well. So that's very key. And then obviously every country has rules and regulations that govern these things. And so for me, what I did was I took that idea, I researched in my area about, different patent lawyers and stuff. Because another thing too is that you can't go on this journey alone. Like I said, I have a pharmacy background, so I'm not a lawyer. And so if you try to do everything on your own, it's probably going to take you years and years and years just to know what to do. So I definitely had to go to a lawyer, present them with my idea, and see if it was innovative at the time. If there's a product that already exists with the features you have, then it's not innovative for you to get a patent, because by you being granted that patent, what the government is telling you is that this is one of a kind. There isn't a product already out there that is like yours. And so the lawyer was able to do his due diligence, make sure that there wasn't a product that would have that design, so that you don't spend a lot of money, going through the process and then being denied at the end. We all have wonderful ideas, but there are already ideas that are there that just haven't been produced yet. So you definitely want to do your due diligence and make sure that you're doing the right research to ensure that your idea is innovative. And so I went through a patent lawyer. They were able to do the research. And then once we realized that, okay, there's no one with that idea, we went forward with the drawings to get it approved. Now it is, or it can be an extensive process depending on, what changes they might want you to make, what you're claiming. Is it a utility patent? Is it a design patent? For products like this, you can't claim that you're the only bag that can carry baby items. So you can't claim a utility to it, but you can definitely claim a design. Yeah. So just finding out what you can claim and what you can't claim is key. Making sure that your drawings are good. My patent lawyer, he outsources his drawings because that's also not his expertise. So just making sure that all the right steps are being followed. And then just doing the waiting game. So even though I've had my business for a while, part of that was, making sure that I was following the right steps, going through the patent process, making sure that I could get approval and before proceeding.
Wow. And so what time frame? How long did it take you from the minute you filed for the patent to when it was finally granted? What was the...
Right. So I think I want to say about 3 years. Because we started with a provisional patent. And then from there, you get the regular one. So it was about a 3-year process.
Wow. And how long have you been in business? Maybe convenient.
So I opened the business the minute I decided that I was going to go forward with pursuing the design. And that was officially in 2010.
Wow.
Right. 2010. So over a decade. But
Wow.
again, I went through periods of making sure that my paperwork was intact. I was going through the patent process. The name change file is trademarked. So we had to go through the trademark processing to make sure that only us can utilize that name and also to get it approved.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's by no means something that happens overnight. I want to make that very clear, especially if you have an innovative product and a business you're starting from scratch. You know, you see Coca-Cola and all these other businesses that are doing so well. They started years and years and years and years ago. So it's definitely a process.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But, big congratulations to you for making it through up to
Thank
10
you.
years. You're on your 11th year now. I think that is very impressive.
Thank
Really.
you.
Look, I looked it up. At least 20% on average of businesses fail within the first year, and up to 50% or more fail completely, falter after, within the first 5 years, and you've been on and you are still creating. So can you share with us some lessons learned? What are some, if I say your maybe top 3 biggest lessons learned lessons that you've learned in the past 10 years from the moment that idea popped in your heart to now? What are some of the things that you can share with us?
Right. It's definitely an evolution, like you said, a lot of growth. But what I will say, and you mentioned some statistics, but you don't necessarily have to be a statistics, right? So this bag that I started out with, this could have failed after the first year. This could have failed. This would have been the end of Change Pal, right? And I still sold the plastic cases. I still sold it. We had to do a little bit more marketing, get the name out there. But what is failure? You have to define it for yourself. It's failure because you didn't make $1 million your first year, so then you're going to close your idea down. Is it because you didn't make $100 your first year? Like, what do you define failure? So you have to be very intentional, and you have to do your research before you go into the business you're going in. What is the reality of the niche or the business you're going into? How long does it take to get a patent? If you get
Manage your expectations.
exactly. Exactly. So you might think you're failing because you only made $2,000 your first year, but that was the baby business. What stage is your baby in? Are you going to evaluate your success based on a 1-year-old baby or based on a 30-year-old lady? You know what I mean? Like, you have to think, what does it take for me to get my business to the point where it's practical? And it's different from business to business. Obviously, let's say you open a salon and you don't get customers for a whole year, you should be worried. You're doing something wrong, right? Because there's so many people in the world who would need to get their hair done. So you have to see the business you're in and how you're going to evaluate how fast you're growing and what true failure is. Is it that you're giving up too fast, or is it that the pace you're going, this is really how long it takes? For my business, like I said, I am a working professional, a mom, and I also enjoy the life that God has given me. I take time for myself and my friends and family. So I was growing it at a pace that was sustainable for me. So I can't compare myself to a Disney bag that has thousands of employees just doing marketing for them. So you have to be realistic with your goals and know what is achievable and attainable based on your resources. So let's make that the base for this conversation. So with that in mind, for me, I'll say what has kept me going is just like I shared earlier, just improving on the product. Every year that we added to our design, we saw growth. So it encouraged me that we were doing something right. We were doing something correct. We started out with no vendors. And then, we're also on Amazon, by the way. I forgot to mention that. And so you go on Amazon and then you see the reviews and then more reviews and then mom saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so helpful. I use this bag for my father's medical supplies too, and I use it for my baby too, and everything is always organized and I'm able to go." So you can tell over the years, the impact of your product, and if it's going in the direction that you need it to go. That's a way to also measure success. How much are you willing to invest in your business to see it grow? If I wanted to market Change Pal and put in $1 million, I bet I'll sell way more. So you have to be very practical with how you're assessing your business and the growth rate and what is truly failure. Because like I said, if I had based my numbers just based on the plastic, it would be a different story today.
Wow. So you went into a few things, but I heard financing. Okay. You talked about how much you're willing to invest. I deal with a lot of startup companies, and that's a major question at the time of startup is financing. And you started a product, not a service. You created a product. You had to put a prototype out there. First of all, you talked about sourcing a patent lawyer, the manufacturers of folks that would actually build your product, help you design it, and all that. So I'm thinking money, money, money. Okay.
Money, 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 money. Yeah.
Money, money, money. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, somehow it always comes down to that.
Yep.
Okay, so how much can you share with us? How did you handle financing? How did you navigate the challenges of financing your
I'm
big
still navigating it.
idea?
Yep, still navigating. It's definitely an art. It's like, what are you willing to forego to build this business? There's always more you have to sacrifice when you're in business compared to, let's say, if I didn't have my business. Essentially, I had to tell myself I'm investing in me, just like we take our money and we give it for our 401k or portion of our money or savings and give it for 401k. Those people are taking that money and investing in other startups and other companies to grow for you to make profit. So I had to be okay with the fact that I probably have to be on a tighter budget, than I would want to be, and invest in my company, for future purposes. So for me, a lot of it has been self-financing, but it also means you're gonna have to drive your old car for a little longer than you want to. You know what I mean? So yeah, you definitely have to see what you're willing to forego now to keep your business going or to keep it going to a certain point, and then you can decide if you want to take a small business loan or get investors or get partners and all of that. But we are a minority owned company, sole proprietor right now. So everything is self-financed for now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I've been taking notes. I'm telling you, you're giving some really sound ideas right now. If you're just joining us, my name is Janet Ezocha. I am founder of Janet's Pick, and I created these series of interviews that I now call Janet's Wins, where I love to speak with amazing women like the woman that I have on today to get some lessons learned through their journey of entrepreneurship and leadership and life in general. Yeah. Dr.Mavis is founder, creator, CEO of Baby Convenience LLC, and she has shown us her amazing product, the Change Pal. Look, if you're a woman out there, mother, I don't even care. You need this product. It's going to help to organize your life, and definitely your life as a mom if you have little ones, leaving the house every day to work, to church, to that party. This is the product for you. So we need to check her out. And we'll find out more about how to contact Mavis or get her products before we conclude for the day. But I still have a lot more to ask you. Mavis, how do you balance work life? Because you are a wife, you are a mom of three. How old is your littlest, your youngest?
She just turned 6.
Okay. Wow, she started kindergarten not too long ago.
Yep.
Full-time worker as well. And then you're this
Yeah.
amazing CEO, creating things for people, like to make the world a better place for people like us. How do you do it? How do you balance everything?
Right. So people ask this, and I don't know if you want to hear I'm doing it all. It's like I'm superwoman, and none of that at all. None of that at all. I just make sure that I ask for help in the areas that I need it, because you can't do it all. It's not possible, right? It's not possible to expect me to be a professional mom and then come home and cook like a 4-course meal, and then at the same time ship all the products and make all the decisions. And it's just not possible. So I get the help as I need it. I ask for help from my family members. I rely heavily on my family members to help me out with my kids. My brothers will help me drive my kids to soccer, when I can't. My mother is, a source of strength and help. My aunties, it's my cousins. It's a family effort, to tell you the truth. My husband is so supportive. He would do what he can in the house to allow me to look at numbers late at night. So one thing that I want to make clear is that you can't do it all. There's no such thing. You're not able to even multitask, because really what they say is that your brain just focuses on one thing at a time and just switches back and forth. So make sure you get the help you need to do what you need to do. If I have products to be shipped, Amazon can help me ship. So products are being shipped, they're being shipped on time, and I'm not doing it, but my business is running. So you have to be practical. You have to find practical ways to get what you need to do done, and done efficiently, where you're not expecting you to do everything, because it's not possible.
Yeah, the value of help, knowing what type of help you need, when you need that help, and giving yourself the permission to get
Yep.
to help to balance your life. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, definitely. Help, balance, being humble enough to know that you can't do it all, and giving yourself grace too. You just can't do it all. So I tell myself, hey, you've done well for today. It's okay. You can go sleep and have a good rest, so that in the morning you're more efficient. So it's definitely a juggling act. And I just try my best to plan in advance to make sure that every area is going to be covered, you know.
Must be. Wow, you're doing quite a few things right, Mavis. You must be.
I'm
It's
trying. And I will say though, it took time for me to learn it, right? You had to go through the phases when I did try to do it on my own, and I was like, ah. So it's been a growth process for me as well. And so even as we're talking, I just want everybody on the line to know this is definitely not, I have figured it out and I'm telling you guys how to do it. You sometimes have to go through the process on your own and see what works and what doesn't work for you, and be willing to fail and try different things. The worst that can happen is that you just find out this is not the way I should be doing it, and then you can change it to how it should be done or what you should be adjusting to make it work better for you.
Yeah, and I think that you kind of demonstrated that. First of all, that reflects in the 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 revisions of your product that you've shown us over the past couple of years, that you've adapted, right? You've adapted to the needs of women. As the more you learn, the more you you adapted your product to those.
Mhm.
Um, how did you navigate the challenges of the pandemic, or how have you? Because we're not fully out of it, out of the woods, but 2020 was an interesting year. for a lot of folks. 2020 impacted a lot of businesses negatively, and some actually. There was quite a number of breakthroughs that I've heard of through 2020. You talk about how you actually took the time out to create some of the additional time that you had last year when things kind of slowed down. You gave yourself the opportunity to create, to actually revise your product yet another time. But can you tell us about the impact of the pandemic so far on your business, good and bad? How has it?
Right, right. I think, I was fortunate enough that my business was already established online before the pandemic started. So I know that most of the businesses that were heavily impacted were businesses that were like in person, and then all of a sudden they had to switch everything online or maybe make their online presence a little bit known. Because we are already an online company, it didn't affect us so much. If anything, the way it affected us obviously is that times were harder for people. And so a lot of the change piles that we sell are usually through giftings, baby showers, and things of that nature. So we did see a decline in that, especially when it started, because when the world is in a pandemic, you're not so much worried about, buying gifts and shipping them out. So I think all of us were affected in that sense. But for us, we were already online. And so what it did was it gave me more time, because usually my regular schedule would involve me going to work and then coming home and running my kids around and then doing what I need to do for my business. But now that we were home, I had extra time with my kids. We would cook, we would do all kinds of things, and I still had time. So going from that really hectic schedule to really like having more time on my hands because everything is shut down. I mean, we would have like Bible study outside of the house, or soccer, swimming, Kumon, just all these things that the kids were doing, and now we were home. For me, it actually gave me time, like I said, to be able to create the universal wipe holder, because it was relevant for what was going on at the time. So that's how it impacted my business. We were able to come up, and we actually launched an Indiegogo campaign back in November of 2020. And that was well supported, and very grateful that we were able to do that. For my business in particular, I didn't get too affected differently from other businesses because we were already online. Also, I am growing my business in the pace that is already sustainable, like I shared before, based on how much we're putting in. So it wasn't too significant for me. I just had to be more intentional about making sure that the extra time I had that I otherwise wouldn't have had to put into my business, that I could actually utilize that time to put in.
So you were intentional.
I had to be intentional, because after I went through like reruns of all my favorite shows, I was like, wow, this has got to stop, because I could do that all, for the rest of the pandemic, because we weren't going anywhere. We were home, so I was like, okay, you've had your break, and I mean, it's been a very tough time for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, people getting sick, and, unfortunately, a lot of people losing their lives to this pandemic. But I was just looking at some of the blessings we could glean out of it, if you can even call it that. More time with the kids, just more time to invest in yourself, and be present with your family, and just use the time as best as you can, because time is a gift, and you mentioned that earlier. So every day you wake up and you're breathing and you're walking and you're well, it means you have something to do that day that matters.
Exactly. You're on point with that. What about what has been your biggest challenge these past 10 years? How did you get through that challenge?
Yeah, my biggest challenge was definitely managing how much time I could put into my business. So a lot of times I had to resort to outsourcing help, to keep things going, because like I said, it's impractical to do it all. And when you have a business you're running, you need to make sure that everything is aligned and on time. And that can be challenging when you have a different job going on, or you have Even mothers who stay at home, that's a job in itself, right? Probably harder than going out of the house and working at times. So definitely making sure that I was doing what I needed to do for the business to still thrive while, growing in my professional career, while raising kids and making sure that they were thriving and doing well and forming relations with my husband that will help us also grow together as husband and wife, and being there for people as best as I can. That balance is always a challenge. And like I said, I had to grow to learn that, okay, you can't do it all. So you definitely need to allot, resources to help you in different areas, or you have to just cut back on some stuff to make it work.
That's right. You can't do it all at the same time. That's
Mhm.
I love that statement because I think it's so true. What inspires you, Davis? What inspires you every day to keep going?
It's just the unknown, the unknown of what God can do when you just trust Him and you keep going. Obviously, when you're a new entrepreneur, you think that once you invent your product, you're gonna just sell it like that. So that was my motivation. I was like, come on, let's go. Hey, let's get this patent started. Let's start selling these change piles. We got the loans to pay back. Come on, pay me back for the money I've put into this business. Come on, come on, come on. And then you learn that, okay, well, everybody else is trying to sell. It's not just you. So that can't be your motivation factor anymore. That's when, the real challenge starts. And so what motivates me, it's opportunities like this. I mean, I didn't know that because I started Change File, I would be in your presence, having a conversation with you and impacting other people's lives. Like it's exciting. It's an honor to be able to be in a position where you can be a mom, be a professional, run a business. It is truly an honor and a blessing. And, when I wake up every day, I'm like, God, thank you so much that you got me through another day and everything was able to get done and done, on time. So what motivates me is just seeing the growth over time. Because like I said, I am also in awe, just like you said, of where I am, because it wasn't like I didn't imagine that I could keep it going with so many of the challenges that I had to go through. So that's a motivator, just sticking with it, trusting God, and enjoying the ride, enjoying meeting all the amazing people that I'm meeting in this journey. Knowing that the bag actually helps people, saving you time from looking for stuff, especially when it comes to babies who need extra care. And you know it's exciting. It's exciting. And I'm hoping that later on, the money will not wait too long. We're definitely in the growing stage.
Amen. You're in the growing stage, but you are, I'm telling you, light years ahead for some people. Like some people can barely even see themselves where you are right now. So we can really appreciate how far you've come. And yes, it's a journey. And I think you're on the right track, though, Mavis.
I thank God. I thank God. I thank God. And it's encouraging to hear that. It's encouraging to hear that, because when I get those like insurance bills, I'm like, where did this come from? Like, you're still charging me for product insurance? Like, you haven't charged me enough. So yes, definitely encouraging.
Mentors along the way.
I'm sorry.
You had mentors
Oh,
along the way.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. You definitely need mentors. And I mean, mentors don't always have to be formalized. My mother is definitely one of my mentors. I'm like, listen, let's calculate this percent margin because it's looking kind of funky nowadays. So definitely my mom, my aunt, and then, of course, I have professional mentors that I rely on. I join different business organizations that can teach you practical things to help you grow your business. So, how to do, let's say, Facebook advertising without losing money, or how to improve your social media following. So, you definitely need, different mentors professionally, and then family wise. And of course, my husband is my go-to person for all of my questions. And he's like, I'm like, well, you're gonna have to help me figure this out. So yeah, you definitely need a backbone. And like I said, I have a support group of female entrepreneurs that I heavily rely on for encouragement, and just different people who have also done this journey that I can go to and say, hey, how did you do this? And knowledge sharing is so powerful, and I'm blessed that I can share, and I'm also learning how to tap into other people who've done it to help me.
That's right. Can you share one of the some names of some of those organizations that you're part of that you joined to help you with your networking and research? Have any?
Yes, yeah. So there is a group of female entrepreneurs that we have a group actually on Instagram. There's no formal name. I think we call ourselves like the Women Entrepreneur Supporters. So there is that group that I am a part of. I am also a part of a program called Traffic Sales and Profit. It's a mentor who mentors entrepreneurs on how to set up their businesses, template it well so that you're doing the right thing. So I rely on them for resources and advice on like Facebook advertising, how to reach different audiences, how to advertise different niches. So you can definitely check them out if you're an entrepreneur on the line, Traffic Sales and Profit. I have met different people through different trade shows. The ABC Kids Expo trade show is expo for children's products that are sold through different vendors. That's how we found some of our vendors like Bye Bye Baby online and Macy's online. There are other organizations that I rely on for spiritual support, for sure. But those are just a few that I can think of now.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. Again, a lot of folks that are listening are needing this sort of guidance, right, to get them started, for resources, for networking, for encouragement. So I'm grateful that you were able to mention those names. I can't believe we're done with the hour because
Already?
questions on time has passed.
Oh, wow.
What an honor, Mavis. You dropped a lot of gems for us today. You've inspired me. I know you've inspired a whole lot others. Again, my name is Janet. Hopefully you're not just joining us, but if you are, I'm founder of Janet's Pick, and this is Wins with Janet. I'm speaking with Dr. Mavis. She is the founder, CEO of Baby Convenience LLC, the creator of the Change Pal baby organizing system. You have a system going on there, Mavis. You really.
Thank you.
How can people reach you?
Okay, so you can reach me via a company email, which is mychangepal.com. Actually, that's our website, mychangepal.com. And then if you want to send an email, it's info@mychangepal.com. So our website is mychangepal.com. Email is info@mychangepal.com. That's mychangepal.com. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram. Facebook is My Change Pal. Instagram is Change Pile. You can gift the Change Pal for yourself or to other mothers on Amazon. Just type in Change Pal and that should bring it up. We're also on Macy's.com and buyebuybaby.com.
So proud of you, Mavis.
Thank you. I mean, this has been an honor to be here and to share this knowledge. I hope that information is beneficial to our listeners, and I am so honored that you brought me on. I just feel so honored, Jane, truly.
Thank you, Mavis. The honor is all mine. The honor is all mine. Thank you so much. Again, we are doing a big giveaway of Mavis's amazing Change Pal. If you're listening, we want you to go on, find us on Instagram or Facebook, follow us, like one of our posts, and share a link to this interview. And also make sure we get tagged as well so we can see that, and we'll be doing a drawing from the names of those that do that, and you will be getting a PayPal. Will contact you and find a way to mail this amazing product out to you. Thank you so much. I might have you back on. I have a really bad habit of asking for a part two from some of my guest mates. I hope if you see me knocking at your door, hey, can I have a part two with you? I hope you'll be open to
Yeah,
doing it.
I'll be so happy. Like I said, it's just about impacting our journey on other people, and the more we can share, hey, the better it is. So it's always my pleasure.
Thank you. And something I did not get to do is to take questions, which I normally do from our active live listeners. So I promise I'll do that next time I have Mavis on. As you can see, she has a lot of experience, practical examples to share. I'm sure she'd be willing to take your questions live. So stand by for an announcement of my part two interview with Mavis coming up, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I'll work out some time with her. So Mavis, thank you so much. Look, if you're on and you're not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for?
Go subscribe, go subscribe, go subscribe. This is so awesome. What you're doing is just so amazing. This platform for, knowledge sharing, inspiration. Jane, God bless you. This was fun. I had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun too. I did. I sure did. God bless you, Mavis.
Thank you. God bless you too.
I'm looking forward to seeing the commercial on TV, watching one day, and I'm going to see that Change Pal come on. I'm going to get my own. Yeah,
Amen.
so wish you all the best. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
To a lot of us women, and I am proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you've heard it from her, Mavis. Make sure you reach out. Go on to Bye Bye Baby, Amazon, or Macy's to look for a product, and reach her at info@mychangepal.com. She's an awesome woman. I think you'll like to know more about her and more about her journey. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Till we see again.
Okay. See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for joining. Much appreciated.
Thank you for joining. Absolutely. Thank you. Watch out for my next interview coming soon. Bye.